The U.S. national security shakeup, Washington puts Russia back at the center of its strategic map. In Washington, a tectonic shift is unfolding quietly, but with consequences that will echo across continents. The White House has released its new national security strategy, and buried within its 33 pages lies a startling mission. Restoring normal relations with Russia is now in core interest of the United States. And ending the Ukraine conflict fast has become a strategic priority. For a world accustomed to years of confrontation, sanctions, and proxy escalations, the message lands like a thunderclap. The doctrine that once cast Russia as a primary adversary has been rewritten. A conflict that reshaped Europe, and a strategy that aims to stop the bleeding. The report declares that the United States must negotiate an expeditious cessation of hostilities in Ukraine, framing the war as a danger spiraling far beyond the trenches. The reasons, laid out in stark terms. European economies destabilized. Relations with Russia deeply attenuated. Escalation risks rising and overstretched, exhausting Europe. The document warns that the conflict has pushed Europe toward the brink economically, politically, strategically, and that the path forward is unsustainable. But the most provocative line of all? A direct critique of Europe itself. The strategy accuses European leaders of unrealistic expectations about the war's outcome, noting that while Europe's people want peace, European policy continues to march in the opposite direction. To a new American posture, from global intervention to continental priorities. In a sweeping reversal from Trump's first-term foreign policy, the new strategy downshifts from great power confrontation and pulls American focus back to the Western Hemisphere, the borders, the homeland, and the immediate neighborhood. The message to Europe is unmistakable. Defend yourselves. The strategy insists that NATO and European nations must assume primary responsibility for their own security. U.S. resources, it declares, should not be drained by distant theaters when domestic challenges are mounting. This is a return to hard-nosed transactionalism, not ideology, not crusading interventionism. A foreign policy stripped down to raw interest. 3. NATO expansion, the red line Washington now recognizes. In a move that will send shockwaves through European capitals, the U.S. strategy calls for an end to NATO expansion. For years, Russia has warned that NATO's eastward creep is a trigger for instability, even a root cause of the Ukraine conflict. Now, for the first time, Washington's strategic doctrine echoes that assessment. The signal is clear. The U.S. wants to freeze the map. No new members. No new flashpoints. For the geopolitical pivot, from confrontation to controlled coexistence. The strategy outlines a shift that borders on the historic. Less global policing. More regional focus. Fewer foreign entanglements. More emphasis on stability with nuclear powers. It frames U.S.-Russia normalization not as a favor, but as a strategic necessity, a way to stabilize Europe's fraying security environment, prevent accidental escalation, rebuild channels of communication with Moscow, refocus American strength on its own hemisphere. This is not a retreat. It is a recalibration, a recognition that endless global confrontation is draining America's power at the moment it needs consolidation most. The documents yet to come, and the quiet storm they herald. The newly released strategy is only the beginning. Within months, the administration will unveil a new national defense strategy, an updated missile defense review, a revised nuclear posture review. Each is expected to reinforce the same doctrine. Less global adventurism, more strategic restraint, and a hard pivot away from making Russia or China the gravitational center of U.S. military planning. The message reverberates through the national security establishment like a warning siren. America is rewriting the rules of global power. 6. A tense new chapter. The shift is dramatic. The implications explosive. Europe stands divided. Russia is watching closely. The global south is recalculating. And Washington is signaling that the age of open-ended confrontation is over. In its place comes a foreign policy colder, sharper, more transactional, driven not by ideology or allies' expectations, but by the grim arithmetic of American self-interest. A new doctrine for a world on edge. A pivot that could reshape the balance of power. A strategy born not from triumph, but from urgency. The US is stepping back from the brink. But what rises from this recalibration, stability or a new kind of tension, will define the next chapter of global geopolitics.